How's it going, everyone? Shifty here, and I'm back with another Destiny 2 video. Today's video is another PvP exotic review. In my last review, I finished off the last pulse rifle, and I mentioned that I was going to be tackling auto rifles next. The first auto rifle that I'm going to be reviewing is the Suros Regime. This gun is a classic auto rifle from way back in Destiny 1, and it has had its ups and downs throughout the entire franchise. And I would personally say it's currently going through another one of those ups right now. We'll get into that more throughout the video, but before that, if you end up enjoying this video or finding it useful, make sure to like and subscribe. Alright, the Suros Regime actually has two firing modes, and I will be focusing on the spinning up mode. In my opinion, it is the better of the two firing options at this time. With that said, Suros Regime is a 600 RPM auto rifle, and it did see quite a bit of use after the 600 RPM buff. But as of recently, I don't see it used nearly as much as it was then. Especially since Gnawing Hunger is such a good 600 RPM, and it's a legendary. However, that doesn't nullify the strengths of the Suros Regime. Alright, let's go over the perks real quick. We've got Hammerforged Rifling for increased range, we've got Tactical Mag for slightly increased stability, increased reload speed, and slightly increased magazine size. Then there's a column with the selectable perk. The top one is Spinning Up. Holding down the trigger increases fire rate. The bottom one is Dual Speed Receiver, and when aiming down sights, weapon rate slows but the weapon damage is increased. Then the next perk is Hand-Laid Stock, increased stability. Then we've got the main exotic perk, Suros Legacy. The bottom half of each magazine deals bonus damage and has a chance to return health on kill. Additionally, I do have the Catalyst, which gives an increased chance for kills to regen health. The Catalyst also has a hidden effect which gives you a massive increase to recoil direction, putting Suros Regime at 100 recoil direction, which gives it nearly perfect vertical recoil. With those perks, Suros has a lot going for it in PvP. With spinning up, you don't lose damage. The gun simply fires faster with the same damage profile of other 600 RPM auto rifles. So let's actually take a look at that damage profile real quick. Now, if you are using dual speed receiver, then the damage profile is 36 per crit and 22 to the body, and that gives the Suros an optimal time to kill of 0.67 seconds and an all body shot time to kill of 1.33 seconds. Now that isn't the mode I used in this video. I used Spinning Up, which has the damage profile of 25 per crit and 16 to the body. Specifically with Spinning Up, the first 12 rounds shot are 600 RPM, then the following 12 are 720 RPM, with the last 12 being 900 RPM provided you have been holding down the trigger the whole time. That means the first 12 bullets would have an optimal time to kill of 0.70 seconds and a body shot time to kill of 1.2 seconds. Then the next 12 bullets would have an optimal time to kill of 0.60 seconds, with a body shot time to kill of 1 second. And finally, the last 12 bullets would have an optimal time to kill of 0.47 seconds and a body shot time to kill of just 0.80 seconds. Alright, so some of those time to kills are rather impressive, especially if you have it spun up to the 900 RPM. Even when you don't have the increased fire rate, 0.70 seconds is nothing to be upset about. Theoretically, the Suros is an excellent PvP weapon, but in practice it depends on your positioning and your aim. Alright, let's talk about some things I like about this weapon. If you find yourself in a fight against multiple enemies and kill the first within the first 12 bullets and keep firing, you're going to be spun up and ready to melt the second opponent. The gun itself feels good to use, bullets connect really well, the recoil is very manageable, and the chance of healing comes in handy in PvP. While 0.70 seconds is a respectable time to kill, especially among primary weapons, Suros can push beyond that and hit 0.80 seconds with just body shots. That's insanity to me, and any crits you hit will just make it that much better. This makes Suros a very forgiving weapon. Also, pre-spinning this weapon up gives you a faster time to kill in most engagements. Once you get good at predicting when enemies will push, you'll benefit even more from spinning it up before they push you. I know in a couple of instances while playing with Suros, enemies would push out when I'm into the second 12 bullets, and that makes it difficult for them to fight back before they're dead. I guess there isn't much I dislike besides a few tiny grievances. The fact that the healing is RNG makes that perk difficult to rely on. You're just gonna have to treat it like it won't happen and be pleasantly surprised when it does happen. The Spinning Up perk is great for improving the time to kill, but it also chews through the ammo in your magazine really quickly. I really don't have that much to complain about with this weapon. I'm honestly glad Suros can hold its own in PvP again. It was kinda sad to see the original king of the Crucible sit in an unusable state in Destiny 2. Overall, if you combine the amazing recoil direction, the fact that it's a 600 RPM auto, and the Spinning Up perk, I think that Suros is a really great weapon in the Crucible, and I think anyone could have a good time using it in casual game modes. I do believe it would fare well in competitive modes, provided it's in the right hands. As I said earlier in the video, you need to have decent aim to take full advantage of the perks on this weapon, because in something like Trials or Survival, you're going to run into teams which have more advanced movement, and if you can't track them, then Suros will not be very useful to you. Anyway, that's it for my review of the Suros Regime. I may use the dual speed receiver in the future and see how it does, and if it works well for me, you may see a video on that. Also, if you enjoyed this video or found it useful, make sure to like and subscribe. Stick around to check out some highlights of my session with the Suros Regime, and I just want to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Of you, Warlock. Fight and nothing less. Double down. You're pulling ahead. Don't see lost. Continue to be my greatest success, Guardian. Double down, together as one. I love you. Zone C. Down. 2 for 1. Your moments of clarity are weapons, Warlock. 2 for 1. What can stop you if you fight together? Nothing from the true meaning of war. Keep this up and the battle is yours. Let them come. This is their fate. Don't be double down. Don't be lost. Don't be lost. Power play. Get those zones back. Double down. This is wonderful. Captured Zone B. Zone advantage is yours. 2 for 1. Shut the enemy down. Zone C lost. Power play. Get those zones back. Zone A captured. A fire team that fights together stays together. Now you're fighting with heart. Zone A captured. That's a power play. You took them, now hold them.